like Zn plus HCl gives ZnCl2 plus H2. So in this case, what is happening is that hydrogen is getting rid of chlorine. So chlorine is an electronegative element. So removal of electronegative element is what? Addition of electronegative element was oxidation. So removal of electronegative element will be reduction. So I forgot to tell you that addition of electronegative element and removal of electropositive element mean the same. Or addition of electropositive element and removal of electronegative element, they also mean the same. So here there is removal of electronegative element. So this is reduction. And here the chlorine is getting added to zinc. So it's oxidation. So in this, HCl is getting reduced to H2, zinc is getting oxidized to ZnCl2. Okay. One more thing, the substance which oxidizes another substance is called oxidizing agent, or it is called oxidant. And the substance which reduces another substance is called reducing agent or reductant. Now in this case, you will see that Zn is, hydrochloric acid is donating chlorine to zinc. So it's giving out an electronegative element so that zinc can be oxidized. So HCl becomes the oxidant over here, or oxidizing agent, because it is oxidizing zinc to zinc chloride by giving chlorine. And zinc, by accepting chlorine from hydrogen and hydrochloric acid to make it hydrogen, it accepts chlorine, and so it takes away this chlorine so that hydrochloric acid can be reduced to hydrogen. So zinc becomes the reducing agent. So they can ask you which is the oxidizing agent, which is the reducing agent. One very important thing, the oxidant always gets reduced. It itself gets reduced, although it oxidizes other substances, and the reducing agent or reductant, it gets oxidized. So I'll give you an example to illustrate this. Suppose we have this reaction, zinc oxide, carbon gives zinc plus carbon monoxide. So in this, zinc oxide is getting reduced to zinc, carbon is getting oxidized to carbon monoxide. So in this, zinc oxide is donating an oxygen atom to carbon so that it can get oxidized. So in one way, it's helping in the oxidation of carbon. So zinc oxide becomes our oxidant, and carbon, by accepting this oxygen, it is getting rid of oxygen from zinc. I mean, it's taking away the oxygen from zinc, that is, it is reducing the zinc oxide. So this carbon becomes the reductant. And you see that the reductant, which is carbon, is getting oxidized. And the oxidant, which is zinc oxide, is getting reduced. That is why the oxidant always gets reduced, the reductant always gets oxidized. So that is about oxidation and reduction. We now move on to, we have finished with types of reactions. Now go on to a topic called corrosion. You must have heard this name, corrosion, because you might have heard that iron gets corroded, there is rusting of iron. This rusting is nothing but corrosion. So what is this rusting actually? Iron, in the presence of air and moisture, gets a layer on top of it, a ferric oxide layer. Ferric oxide and some H2O, XH2O, it's called ferric oxide and XH2O, gets a layer, and this is a brown flaky substance called rust. So this settles on iron and it corrodes iron. That means it damages iron. Now iron bridges and all, if they start rusting, they become weak. I mean, the water starts eating up the iron. So rusting is damaging of iron. So this rust forms on the iron and it keeps forming more and more. And so to prevent this rusting, they paint the bridges. Then there is a process called galvanization. We'll not go into that. The main thing is that the iron gets corroded. So corrosion is nothing but, or you can say, damage done to metals by the action of air, moisture, can be acids, etc. So silver, if you keep it out in the open, the grayish color of silver will go and there will be a black coating on top of silver. That is also silver sulfide, Ag2S. So this is also a type of corrosion. So that is all about corrosion. Another thing which we observe in our day-to-day lives is rancidity. Or from corrosion, they might ask you questions like what is corrosion? Um, if a silver ring gets a black coating, then what will you say about what has happened? Then you can say that this ring has got corroded and there is a layer of silver sulfide which is formed on top of the ring. Now, rancidity is basically the change in the smell and taste of food when kept in open. Like if you keep food in open, then bacteria start acting on it. Some microbes start acting on it, and then they damage the food, and so the smell and taste changes, and then it no longer remains edible after some time. That is why you keep the food in a refrigerator, so that the temperature is low enough to not let the bacteria breed, and so the smell and taste will last longer. And you'll see that the chips packet which you get, these chips packet are containing a gas. Now, why do they put this gas? This gas is nothing but nitrogen. It's because nitrogen is an inert gas. It does not react with the chips. So, and due to this inert gas, there are no microbes which can breed inside the packet. So, if there would have been oxygen and all, oxygen itself would have attacked the chips, because due to air, the chips would get damaged. So, due to this nitrogen, which is an inert gas, the chips are preserved.